So good. Thank you very much, friends. Welcome back to this Wellness by All Means workshop offered to you for mindfulness. Your health is in your hands. We will proceed to our eighth week. Today is the eighth week and the last week of this workshop right now. But again, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. As we just talked about, we have a bigger mission right now to achieve. Not only will take care of our own health through these techniques, but also we'll try to take care of the health of everyone in the Silicon Valley. So let's pray to the universe, to the Almighty, to help us with the strength, with the wisdom that we need to bring that dream come true. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvisavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It's a very secular prayer. The meaning of this: may the universe protect us all. May the universe nourish us all. May this workshop be fruitful and enlightening. May there be no discord, no disharmony among each other. May there be peace. Om, peace, peace, and peace. So today's topic is what is happiness and how to put a daily meditation practice for joyful living. So let's take a small activity. Again, I will open up the chat room. So please mention about like what is happiness to you, and what are the things that make you happy. So look at the chat room for 2 minutes. Please be generous to write down. What is happiness to you, and what are the things that make you happy?
Wait பண்ணணுமா?
And also write what makes you happy. Like we have already given nice happiness is contentment, happiness is peace in heart and home, seva, making others happy, peace, seeing smiles on the people around me. A normal life makes me happy. That's good. Yeah. Choosing positivity, doing things that make me happy. Things that makes me happy is dance. Very good. I'll just wait for 1 more minute. Let's see if any new ideas come. Letting go and embrace the life as it comes. That means happiness is an art. The art of happiness. That's a good phrase. Right. Doing yoga and pranayama can make us happy. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, we are thinking like, you know, happiness is also an inner thing. Good. I think that's a good list of things that I was expecting. Let's move on. So again, a recap from week 1, like my goal is totally healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. And our goal also should be, we are truly happy, like, you know, truly happy is all that we have explored right now. It's not conditioned to the external world, not conditioned to people or any kind of positions or relations that we have or things or beings, as I say. So beyond the things and beings, beyond the relations and positions, if you can find out happiness inside, that is called true happiness. And of course, like, you know, you have to have other goal, like being focused, being successful in life, something that really touches your heart, and then something that is short term. If you put this goal into your practice every day, remind yourself a couple of times throughout the day, then it will act like a GPS system, the goal positioning system, and it will keep moving towards that goal. So if you think about this picture right now, it's an iceberg. Like pleasure driven happiness is just the tip of the iceberg. There is much more inside, and oftentimes we don't really realize that, and then we try to become happy and contented with the pleasure driven happiness, and sometimes if it doesn't come, that causes a lot of stress, worries, anxieties, fear, anger, and all the negative emotions do come with that. So we have to be aware that happiness that we derive from the body consciousness or from the annamaya kosha is way superficial than what happiness we get when we get into our anandamaya kosha. And yoga is the technology, as you have already talked about, that helps us to transcend from the physical annamaya kosha to the subtle blissful self. So from body to bliss, from the tip to the bottom, as we start moving through the consistent practice, then definitely we can practice, we can derive more deeper source of happiness. If you look at the positive psychology, which is almost prevalent for last 60, 50 years right now in America, people are talking about psychology is not just as a tool to solve the problems of human mind. Like if case you have imbalance of your mind, if you have problems with your mind, if you're disease, mental condition, mental challenges, psychology has been a great tool, psychotherapy, psychiatry, and has been there. But positive psychology would aim at the potential of the human mind. What is that power of happiness? What is the power of focus? What is the power of love, compassion, all the different feelings that we have? How can we enhance those things? So that's creating more possibilities in life. So positive psychology is all about that. One of the person that is a pioneer of positive psychology is Professor Martin Seligman from UPenn, and he has been studying about that. He has been talking about this through a lot of TED talks. So what I've gathered from him is, he defines happiness factor of H. H equals PEM, P plus E plus M. Like, something is pleasure-driven happiness. So let me just explain to you the way that he explains is, one day the professor came to, basically if you ask this question, like, hey, if you like ice cream, if I give you one scoop of ice cream, you'll become more happy. If I give you two, probably you'll become a little bit more happiness. If I give you three, more happiness. But if I continue to give you for the whole day, for the whole week, for the whole month, and for the whole life, you won't be happy with that ice cream. And this is an example just like that. Anything will not give us perennial happiness forever. There is always a theory of diminishing returns in economics. So everything and anything that continues to give us happiness will not continue to give us happiness. At some point of time, it will diminish. And more than anything, pleasure-driven happiness can be more addictive in nature, can be very short-lived. Then he talks about another example of, like, he comes to the class and then he says, like, hey, today we will not study the psychology in the conventional way. I will take you guys for a movie. And you watch the movie, and towards the end of the movie, you tell me how did you like the movie, or how much of happiness did you derive by watching this movie alone in a scale of 1 to 5. That's all, the experiment. So they all went to watch the movie, and then finally towards the movie end, like, they gave a survey card filled up, like, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how they felt. And then he collected all the data, and then the experiment was done. Then after 2 weeks, he comes back again, and then he asks the students, like, hey, I've got another arrangement to experiment. Of course, we'll not study the way that we study. We'll not go to the movie theater also, but I'll take you guys to a small organization. We work with families with the poor people. So we'll deal with a lot of orphans and a lot of children. So we'll take some candies and blankets and toys with us, and then we'll spend the rest of the afternoon with them. And as earlier, towards the end of this experiment, you'll also give me a rate card in a scale of 1 to 5. How much happy did you become by engaging yourself with the children? And so they all had a wonderful time with the children. And towards the end, again, everybody filled out the rate card. So after 6 months, the professor comes back again and reminds the students, like, look, 6 months ago, we went to a movie. Now think about the movie experience again, right now, just the experience itself, and tell me how much happy are you just thinking about that experience. And nobody really even recollect that experiment as a happy experiment, and then people are also forgotten the name of the movie, it was not very fulfilled. But talking about the second experiment, he reminded, like, think about that time that you spent with the children, and thinking about that experience, thinking about that memory, how much are you happy right now? And then everybody said 5 to 5 again, like, because that was so fulfilling. It was so much deeply recorded in their subconscious mind that they felt happy just by thinking about that experiment. So he concludes that this is because we are experiencing engagement driven happiness. So beyond the pleasure driven happiness, engagement driven happiness could be more fulfilling, it is more long lasting, and it doesn't have not a addictive nature, unlike pleasure driven happiness. So it is more sattvic in nature. Then of course, like, he explains the concept of meaningful driven happiness, like, when you do something for a meaningfulness, like something for a greater cause of the mankind, like making an orphanage yourself, or building an institute, or building an hospital, or building a charity that helps millions of people. If you go around the world and then help a lot of people who need in help, so that purpose, those purposeful driven happiness, meaningful driven happiness, even more long lasting, and then they are much more sattvic in nature. So when you have that altruistic motivation attached to your goal of happiness, do something for the mankind, then that gives you maximum happiness, and then you become immortal with your experiment of happiness with that. So ultimately, like, his team worked on a little bit more, and then they defined a little bit more. So the refined experiment of happiness from that team, from the positive psychology, is PERMA, S equals PERMA. So it's positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaningfulness, and also achievements in life. So if you achieve these 5 things, then probably it will lead you to a deeper level of happiness, and you start exploring the bottom of the iceberg. If you look at the yogic psychology, we also have been talking for centuries about this one. It's called Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Look at the order. So it almost maps to what we talk about. So Dharma is meaningfulness in happiness, meaningfulness. Like, you have to have that Dharma. What is that karma and Dharma that we know? That do something great so that your generations will remember to you. Leave a legacy behind it. Like, do something great. So that meaningfulness is called Dharma. Artha is engagement. Like, after you study certain things, you get some skill, of course you have to earn some money, so get engagement, or get engaged to make livelihood, and then that is called Artha. And Kama is, of course, the pleasure driven happiness, the sensory pleasures, the lust, then all the different things that we look for to become happier is all Annamaya Kosha, the pleasure driven happiness, the sensory driven happiness. And moksha is, of course, like achievements, highest achievements of the life, the liberation of the mind, and then true happiness. That's called the achievements or moksha. And then this order is very important. People always say dharma, artha, kama, moksha, not kama, artha, dharma, moksha. So kama driven happiness is not leading us to the ultimate moksha. But if you do the dharma driven happiness, the kama is included in that. That means if you do the meaningful driven happiness, the pleasure is already included as a part of the package. So again, coming back to that iceberg example, the pleasure-driven happiness is only short-lived and on the tip of the iceberg. But the more we go towards the meaningfulness, towards the dharma and moksha, that's coming towards the end, coming towards the core of our panchakosha. If you remember, anandamaya kosha, or the depth-wise, the tip of the bottom of the iceberg. So that is what yoga is all about, to help us to transcend from the body depending or physical driven happiness to a much deeper level of happiness. And how to move from the pleasure driven happiness to the true happiness? Because of the different things that we happen to have a conditioned mind. Like, say, for example, people talk about in psychology, there is the food and the bell experiment, like the bone and the bell experiment, right? With the dog, like if they give the food to the dog would salivate by looking at the food. Now they take the food out and then take like a bone, in this case is a food. So by looking at the bone, the dog will salivate. But and after that they will do a bell, just like ringing a bell. The dog will not salivate. Then after that they'll put them together. They'll put the bell and then put the bone after that. So the dog will salivate again. But after that they will take the bone out and then put the bell again, just the bell itself. That will also make the dogs salivate, because they will expect the bone immediately after the bell. So it's kind of a conditioning of the mind. So the bell is conditioning to expect the bone or the food. So similarly, in many different cases in our own personal life, we always get conditioned to a particular way of deriving happiness or doing a particular thing. The way we do, we get conditioned in our brain. Sometimes it becomes positive experience, sometimes it becomes negative experience. Sometimes it leads to a lot of addictions in life, sometimes it leads to a lot of negative emotions in our life, like anger, frustration. So we develop different kind of winning formulas to have a short-term goal, and then once we get used to, that becomes a habit, and it brings a hardness to our brain, like it becomes almost like a groove. So anytime that we fall into that area or that kind of pattern, then automatically we behave in a particular way that we have been doing it. So it's called groove driven behavior. But the modern psychology and neuroscience is talking about our brain is not like a rock solid material. It's a plastic material. It can be meldable, it can be pliable. So with regular practice of yoga nidra, with regular practice of pranayama, with self auto suggestions, self healing techniques, all the different things that we practice, our brain can be taught different things. Our mind can be enhanced to see the different realities or different perspectives of life, and we try to choose different ways, not just falling into the same groove again and again. So we can transcend from being in a habitual pattern of pleasure driven happiness seeker to a much deeper driven, more anandamaya kosha, or the deep driven happiness or the true happiness that can happen because of regular practice, daily deliberate practice of certain things that we talk about in the 7 secrets of personal happiness or personal excellence can definitely change our mindset and make us more susceptible to bring the true happiness into our life, or more open to explore the deeper aspects of our life. This is what happened to if you know about Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya was one of the great sage of Indian tradition. So when he was just a little child, he asked his mom, like, mom, who am I? In Sanskrit, translated into ko aham, who am I? Ko aham. Then his mother said, like, probably you have to go and find it out from the world with your first hand experience. So he started walking around for 12 years from place to place. He met different masters, he talked to different people, he debated with a lot of wise people, and finally comes home and ask and then mother asks, like, did you find the answer to your question, son? Like, no. The son replied, Sankaracharya replied that, yes, mom, I found out the answer. Then what is the answer? He said, so aham. That means I am that. I am that Brahman. I am that Almighty. I am that a part of the whole. There is no difference between me and Him. Soham. So the whole journey from Koham to Soham is the knowledge that we talk about. From the body to bliss, from gross Annamaya Kosha to the subtle Anandamaya Kosha, from Koham to Soham. So if we always think about this personal principle, or the Nirbana Shatakam that he wrote, if you Google it, the Nirbana Shatakam, when in 6 stanzas, he taught to the world, like, what we are not and what we are. So there is a simple formula that Vedanta teaches us. There's a concept called neti, na iti, that means not that. So if you apply to this question, am I this? Like, am I my body? Not this. That's the answer. No. Am I my mind? Not this. Neti. Am I my intelligence? Not this. Am I my prana? Not this. Am I my emotions? Not this. Am I my bliss? Not this. So you go beyond all the things, and finally you reach to a point where you find that you are that which is everything. By knowing which, you know everything. So there are deeper aspects of Vedanta. Slowly, when we get more time, we'll explore more into those very interesting stories, very interesting logical way of explaining the whole concept that will help us to reinforce the intent that we have put together of true happiness, of liberation of the mind. And that will happen in a gradual process, in a fun-loving process, in an enjoyable process. So we would like to explore more of those wisdom of the past and try to blend them into the modern science, into our lifetime right now, lifestyle, and then enjoy life as it comes. So the journey from Koham to Soham will make us realize that we are our own consciousness. The consciousness is there as a true nature, and that gets manifested through different objects, through different subjects. And that is the deeper science of Vedantic way of looking at happiness. Is happiness is all within, and then it radiates into everything, and then that experience is absorbed by the sensory organs, and which is give us a reinforced experience of happiness. But the happiness is all within as pure consciousness. In Sanskrit, we call it Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am that pure existence, I am that pure consciousness, I am that pure bliss. And having said this, as it is today's the last of this workshop, so everything, all road leads to happiness. Like if you do the stretching, it will lead to happiness. If you do the breathing, it will lead to happiness. If you think about the food, it will lead to happiness. If you think about pratyahara, yoga nidra, it will lead to happiness. Dharana leads to happiness. Dhyana leads to happiness. So samadhi, or the final accomplishments of the happiness, is a derivative or a progressive experience of the Ashtanga Yoga, the Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So all these things will lead us towards true happiness if we practice with the right perspective. So again, thank you very much for for joining this program. We had given this link also last time. I'll also put this again, like in addition to what Sonia is asking, you can also take some time to give this information to us. And we will do a meditation today. We'll do a meditation for about 20 minutes. That's why I'm kind of cutting short of this particular program. And after that time, if you get a time, I would also like to explore with you a particular yoga routine that we follow on a daily basis at our Center for Wellness by All Means here, and just to make you appraise of, like, what happens in a typical yoga class for 1 hour or 75 minutes. I'll explore that, and then I will also extend the invitation from this class to a month of yoga practice with us online, several times throughout the day, every day in a day, 2 times, Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. I teach yoga myself, and I'm passionate to teach that as long as my body allows. So please take advantage of this and come to yoga class and experience everything that we've learned as a theory, and then really practical way. If you find some time in the morning or in the evening, you'll definitely get the whole concept that we have learned together right now, and that will become more assimilated into our personality, into our consciousness. So great. So is there any question that is coming up right away before I open the meditation? If you have any question, friends, like, you can always put it in the chat. I will look into that later, and then I'll explain to you if I get time privately also. That's great. So let's continue. This particular meditation is all summing up the whole thing. It's a beautiful meditation. I just composed very recently, and then which will give you a good summary of what we have learned, and then also take us to an imaginary world where we can bring, where we can be the angel or the divine beings, the spiritual beings that we are, to bring more happiness to the world. So the dream of making Silicon Valley as a true abode of happiness, let's try to achieve that, at least in our mind, in a collective mind right now, through this meditation. Let's see, give me a minute. You can just sit down quietly. You can just close your eyes. You don't have to lie down. It's a yoga nidra meditation, but you can just keep your eyes closed and relaxedly just listen to the instruction. It's a guided meditation. practice of Yoga Nidra would relax our mind and make it very receptive so that we can plant the sankalpa or the resolution when it's totally relaxed and just like a little child. So it will create the enormous faith like a child. And whatever that we believe, whatever that we think about it, make a sankalp or resolution, the whole system of our being would buy into that, and they will do their best to help us manifest that goal in due course of time. So the objective is not to sleep, but to relax in a conscious way. That is why it's called Yoga Nidra, yogic sleep or a psychic sleep. So try to relax your whole body physically. If you need to make subtle adjustment so that you can feel 10 to 20% more relaxed, please do so. Once you find a spot where your body can relax for about 15-20 minutes, fix that position. And after this point, we are not going to move our body. The only movement that will happen is breath. Breath would move in and out. And we'll try to activate only two faculties, the hearing through the ears and feeling through our hearts. So only hearing and feeling would be active, and every other part of our being would be totally relaxed. Do not try to intellectualize whatever it said in this instruction, so that the brain is also relaxed, the intellect is also relaxed. So Yoga Nidra is a practice of complete relaxation, falling into the tradition of Pratyahara in the Ashtanga Yoga tradition. Pratyahara means withdrawing our sense organs from the objective world and slowly and consciously entering into a subjective world. In the objective world, we make all the experiences by interacting with different objects through our 5 sense organs and 5 action organs. And in the subjective world, we know who is that person, who is that entity, who is that being who is experiencing this. So it's a separation between the thoughts and the thinker, between the subject and the objects. And when we find that person, we enter into a state of extreme bliss, because the consciousness gets fully invested into our being in that state of turiya, the 4th state of our mind. Wakeful state, deep sleep state, the dream state, and the final one, Yoga Nidra state, where you are neither asleep nor fully awake, just on the brink of sleeplessness and sleepfulness. In the boundary of sleep and wakefulness. So in this part, try to take a resolve, remind your sankalpa, something more personal to you, like I'm being totally healthy, I'm being happy, I'm very successful in everything I do, I'm raising my spirituality, I'm enjoying my life, I'm inviting more love and harmony into my heart. So whatever that connects to you, just repeat that phrase 3 times in your mind and create a feeling around it in your heart. Now we'll count down 10, 10 to 1, and we go into a deeper state of relaxation. Just like you are climbing down 10 staircases in a spiral way, and you go down each step, you'll be getting into deeper and deeper state of relaxation. The mind will relax. So we are programming and requesting our body and mind to go into a deeper state of relaxation through this technique. It's a very proven technique of counting down backward and getting into a deeper and deeper state of relaxation. 10, 9, 8. You're getting into a deeper state of relaxation. 7, 6, 5. Even deeper state of relaxation. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The whole being is relaxing. 4, 3, 2. You're almost there. Very deep relaxed. And 1. You're completely relaxed. And you're entering into what you call a mystical garden. It's an enchanted garden that you can create in your mind, and you can enter to that place which will be very sacred for you, which will be a place where you can always find deeper bliss any time that you wish. So you are entering into that mystical garden. It's an imaginary garden that has got everything possible. The latest of the technology, the most beautiful things that you can think about can be created just like you wish. You can create rainbow in the night. You can talk to the clouds. You can talk to the stars. You are the Lord of this universe. Everything that you can command or wish can be created in this garden. Just slowly get attracted to a beautiful swing that's waiting for you, nicely decorated with fragrant flowers, colorful flowers around. And it's a state-of-the-art swing which reads your mind, reads your feeling. Depending on your wish, depending on your thought, it can take you back to the future or to the past. It is very sentient, almost conscious. So it can reciprocate with our own consciousness. It can read the aura in our body. It can read the heartbeat, just like the modern gadgets can get the biofeedback. So you can just imagine that everything that is available right now is there for you at your disposal to give you a wonderful feel of relaxation and a deeper contemplation of your life's journey. And as you sit down in that imaginary swing, it swings back and forth in the right speed that you really like it. You're getting enchanted. You're getting into a beautiful state of bliss of mind. Just like one of the most happiest moment of your life is getting replayed in your mind and heart. Back and forth, the swing in the beautiful speed automatically geared towards your blissful state of mind. Your heart is opening up with more love energy, more compassion for everyone that you have encountered in this life. You feel like going back to your childhood time and trying to bring back those nostalgic memories fresh again in your mind, in your heart. I'll count 3, and when I count 1, you'll be entering into your childhood days. 3, 2, The swing is taking you back to your childhood memories. And one, you're right there. You're back into your childhood memory. Just ask yourself, what am I thinking? Whatever that thought comes to your mind, whatever that picture flashes in your mind, that's okay. Your mind is replaying things that it needs to replay right now. There's a beautiful orchestration happening between the universe, between the time, the space, our consciousness, our body, our mind, our emotion. So there's a beautiful interplay of things happening right now with the technology, with the spirituality, with everything together. You are in your childhood memories. So take your time to pay attention to what's coming up on your awareness. You might meet some bosom friends that you have not met for a long time. You might think about a teacher who taught you an important lesson in your life. It might remind you of some struggle that you may have gone through. Our mind is filled with so much of memories. And when we take time in a conscious way with a positive mindset and go back to that beautiful state of childhood and appreciating everything that happened as a part of the design of our life, you will not be disappointed, because things that have already happened, you cannot undo those things. But coming out of that time and thinking back from this present moment, we can only see the positive things of that time. And as you play around in another beautiful garden that is in your childhood time, that brings back to your memory, think about the dream that you had as a child. Becoming a good person, attracting more love, getting into a suitable life partner, finding a suitable job, making a lot of wealth and affluence in your life, making more friends, names and fames, everything that you wanted to do. Think about all those desires can be put into an imaginary seed. Just like we do grafting, taking the stem from a rose, giving yellow flowers, and grafting that with a rose with a pink flower. And when the new stem comes out, that plant of rose can give both rose and pink flowers. So just like it's possible in a plant world or in an animal world, we can also think about in our psychic way. So in our imagination, try to create a seed which can contain every ingredient or a beautiful, well tested out blueprint of an ideal life that you wanted in this lifetime. And just like with a child-like faith, you take that seed into that garden and put it inside the soil, cover it up with more soil, fetch out some water and put it on the top of it. And you are comfortably sitting around that imaginary seed that is planted on that garden, and you are meditating on that. You're contemplating on the seed. You're contemplating everything that is possible in your future. Just like You're spending more energy and more prana into that seed. And slowly, the plant is coming up. It two leaf sapling. Slowly it's growing up into a beautiful small plant with lovely colors of the leaves. And again, it's your imaginary tree. It can grow instantaneously as you put more prana into it. As you keep meditating and providing more love and kindness to that plant, and more wish and desire, the plant is growing even bigger. Just like in an animated movie, the creator can create that sapling as you wish. It's becoming a little bit more bigger. It's showing its youthfulness, just like representing your own youthful time with beautiful leaves. And you're enchanted by the growth and beautiful health of this plant that you're creating. Very perfect in every way possible, swinging back and forth as the air touches the leaves. The branches are swinging back and forth, and the flowers are swinging left to right, just like they're singing to the rhyme of your thoughts. They're attuned to your blissful state of mind. They can almost talk to you. The consciousness of the plant is fully developed as you have created this plant out of your consciousness. The beautiful green leaves and the pink flowers touching your heart center. And you are connecting the plant with your heart. And as you take a couple of mindful breaths in that position, the plant is even going to bear some fruits for you. A sweet nectarine or something that you really like a sweet ripened mango, or whatever fruit that you like. This plant, like a kalpataru, like the imaginary plant that can fulfill every wish that you have. And as you think about the fruits, the plant is giving all the fruits in every way possible. And in your mind's thoughts and imagination, as you're doing, you can pluck some of those fruits and think about different people in your life that you'd like to share these fruits. Just like an angel or a divine being, you can move out with lots of fruits in your hand or in your basket, and you can just fly to every house and you can give and distribute these enchanted fruits to bring forth their dreams into reality. And do that as much as you can share. Take some more time to distribute those beautiful fruits, sweet fruits, to all your loved ones, all those people that you care about in your life. And your heart is opening up as you distribute these flowers and fruits to all the friends and people that you know, from whom you might have taken some help. You're paying forward. And it gives you a beautiful feeling of love and compassion in your heart. Something what people talk about, an unconditional love, without any condition. Your heart is welling up with more such divine thoughts a pure bliss settling down, and you feel very satisfied with this act of kindness and compassion for yourself and others. Slowly and gently, please come out from this. How was your experience?
Very relaxing.
I hope some people are still distributing the fruits to their loved ones. Good. I will just take a couple of minutes to just explain like in how a typical yoga class that happens in our center here. Typically we start with a couple of mindful breath. We take about a couple of minutes to just relax the body with some mindfulness practice. Then, of course, we remember about our goal and we chant some mantras, like particularly the Om sounds 5 times we do it. And we do some that we have there for the wonderful eyesight. Breathe in. Then some special technique that we do for different parts of the body, particularly for this particular space that
Keep
we're
your eyes
doing
still
it.
closed.
We're doing it in a
And bring
very
the gentle focus
specialized
on the
breathing
point in
for
between the
Vedas
two eyebrows.
ability. It
Just
will
stay there for a
improve
few
our
breaths.
talent, memories, and focus. It's a very specific breathing technique that we do for 5 times, and then do it for eyesight, some kind of eye exercise we do.
Now,
Moving up
without
down,
moving the neck or the
sidewise.
head, just look up all the way up, feel the stretch of the eyes, and slowly look down all the way.
Then I look for do some like neck exercise. These are all typical examples of how we engage different parts of our body in different order in different classes. So this particular technique is from the brain to the eyes to the neck to the shoulder to the elbows to the wrist joint to the finger joints, and then finally coming back to the lungs, to the heart, to the stomach, to the
After doing
pancreas,
5 times,
to
both the
all the
directions,
there are different
weight,
activities
like
for
100 pounds of weight,
the lungs.
and you have to feel that so that it will
Some
build up
special
strength in
technique
your
like how you
muscles. So
build
keep your palms
your
open, just like
muscles
you're carrying
by
some weight
using
for both the
imagination.
palms, 50 pounds each. So inhaling, open it up, and then try to lift them up as much as possible. You should feel the strength in your forearms, upper arms, all the way.
Pounds of weight,
As much as possible, lift them up, and without dropping the weight, slowly, gently drop them down, and lifting up and dropping down with that awareness, so that your muscles will react to that and they will really get stronger. So inhale, exhale, inhale,
like
release the lock,
there's some
inhale,
special technique for internal organs to Uddiyana Bandh
exhale
practice,
to the mouth.
like you inhale and hold the breath by tightening your tummy, like
Hold your breath, tighten your tummy lock.
the spine. It's a very special technique of breathing technique we do, just to have internal organs more healthier.
Release the lock first, then inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Hold your breath, tighten your tummy.
Like that. It's another special technique that
2 more
practice
times. Inhale.
Mandukasana, like a frog. So it's very good for pancreas.
While exhaling, drop down all the way down. Hold your breath. While inhaling, release the back to it.
Then we'll do a lot of breathing techniques, like after doing the stretching, opening of the body parts, different joints or different techniques. Then we do a couple of breathing techniques, like Kapalbhati. This is the Kapalbhati pranayam, which we did, I think, in session 3 ourselves here in this class, which aims at reducing all the carbon dioxide from our body and also improves the health of the gut and also the health of the brain. Kapalbhati, that brings that shininess on our forehead or makes our brain more.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll do Sarvangasana.
Then we do
like the shoulder stand, and then we'll come back again for one more breath practice or meditation practice, do some sun salutation, and then some.
Like this is a technique of different techniques of building core strength.
And stay strong, engage your core muscles. If you,
of course, in between, a lot of relaxation happens in between the stretching and relaxation. That's the way that we build, like we stretch, and immediately there is a moment of relaxation. So that cycle has been more scientific.
Intermediate relaxation is very important part of our practice. We stretch and relax.
Like this Sarvangasana,
slowly
standing like
lifting
stick
or dropping down the back to the ground.
Time.
Legs 90 degree and very slowly.
How does
legs down and then lift up the upper body and then keep the hands touching the toes like this all the way, and then drop them out all the way.
Spinal twist.
Like that.
So if
few more rounds.
That whole spinal column gets
slowly and gently.
All the meridian points of our backbone can be activated. Very good practice. That means that you can do a little bit. Will also keep more time.
Come back.
Finally, we do some sun salutation. So this is one typical sun salutation.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale.
This is only one side. The left side. Then we do the same thing on the left side.
Exhale.
Then also we do
Om
mantra chanting.
Om Aditya Namaha.
Practice we have a different.
Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha. Right. Om Adityaya Namaha. Om Arkaya Namaha. Om Savitra Namaha. Exhale.
All about mantra awareness.
Right from facing up,
technique
that
helps us to live longer and
rotate 10 times clockwise in a circular motion that will rejuvenate every cell in our body and help us to look younger, live longer. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.
It's also a technique all religions practice.
In
the temple,
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Sufism practice.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.
Building more youth. Dynamo. Every cell in the body gets activated with prana, and we feel
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Then of course finally we do a little bit of more relaxing, deep relaxing for 10 minutes, yoga nidra and meditation. And
Shivoham.
Finally do.
You can chant few times in your mind.
So I think that that's what I wanted to share with you. If you have some question, it's just time. So please, open up for 1 or 2 minutes if you have. Otherwise, my invitation is all for you to come and practice online yoga for a month and see for yourself what opens up, so that we can make the Silicon Valley the healthiest and the happiest community in the world.
Mr. Manoj, this is Sita.
Yeah, Sita.
It was good. Thank you very much for that. And it was a very enjoyable 10 weeks of program, 8 weeks of program.
Right.
Actually, I sent you an email last week just to connect up. I was not sure whether you saw that or not, but whatever the email that Silicon Valley Andhra provided, that's the one that is there, right?
Oh, okay, I'll look into that. Sorry for that. Last
year. I just want to make sure I have the right contact.
It's for wellnessguru@gmail.com. So let me type it out. You can resend it if we want.
Nice.
wellnessguru@gmail.com.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll look into that. Hi, this is Venkat Kedambi. Can you make this video available for all those who are registered?
This video?
Yeah.
This is already recorded, sir. This part is already recorded, and Raju Garu will be posting it on the Facebook page and the YouTube link. YouTube, there is a special playlist for all these 8 sessions. So this is already included in the part of the video. You can always practice that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
This is shared in the Rotary Club page, and all videos of Manoj is shared.
Great, thank you.
Can you just hit return on your email because I don't see it?
Yeah, we don't see it in the chat, Manoj.
Sorry?
We don't see it in the chat session.
Your email.
Your email.
Your email.
Did I said, oh, I sent it privately, somebody. Okay.
Okay.
Because somebody requested, sent it privately. So that has been answered also. Right, sorry.
Thank you.
Make it public so that everybody will be able to see.
Right. So because it remembers the last.
So Manojji, like, regular yoga sessions, where do I get the information? I want to join.
So, remember easily, it's called tinyurl.com. Anybody uses the tiny URL? It's like tiny, it abbreviates the URL. So just tinyurl.com. WBAM is called wellness by all means, then Zoom. So it's one word, no space, like this. It's a tinyurl.com / WBAM Zoom. So I've got classes like Monday, all days, like 6:45 in the morning to 8 a.m. and sometimes 5:45 and sometimes 6:45 in the evening. 5:45.
Okay.
5:45 p.m. kind of thing, or.
So do we have to register somewhere for attending this session?
Like if you can give me a special email, then I'll send you the link. There is an onboarding session because we do online,
Okay,
So
sure.
I would like to take you through 30 minutes of onboarding practice so that I can explain to you like what is the best way to benefit from our practice, when to inhale, when to exhale, how to set up a goal and stuff like that. That'll be great. So if you can send me an email, I will spend some time, 30 minutes with you. And then after that, I'll introduce to all the classes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I will do that.
And also this mindfulness practice that you did for 8 weeks, we are now having this program, a 2 months of program for every disease, like, for hypertension, for diabetes, for multiple sclerosis, for cancer, for anything that you or any of your known people are doing it. We are doing an experiment to really do it. I'm collaborating with a lot of health clubs of the world to get the best of the technology and to give it here in Silicon Valley so that within 2 weeks, 2 months of time, we can definitely see the result through changes in the diet. Just for an experiment, like, think like you're staying in an ashram and you do this practice for 6 weeks to 8 weeks, you'll see the difference right away. So a lot of like-minded people like Simji and all, like, we're collaborating here to recommend different kind of diet habits that we are experimenting ourselves right now. So through the stretching, breathing, diet, cleansing, healing, relaxing, and meditation, the 7 secrets can be personalized, can be customized for every disease. And definitely you'll see the result. The body has got immense power to heal itself. Only we have to safeguard it. We have to believe that system. We have to really provide the whatever it takes to heal the body in whatever disease condition. So if you have any problems, if you want to participate in this experience for 2 months, please do let me know, and then we can definitely achieve that. I have the confidence.
Sure, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else have any questions?
Like the the exercises which you have shown just now in the display mode, daily minimum, how much time it will take? Like basic exercise like Madhukasana, all these things, it will take about 30 minutes. Can we practice?
So everything can be customized, sir. Like if you have 30 minutes, we can do it 30 minutes. I would definitely recommend that because we have this Panchakosa model, like something for the physical body, something for the pranic body, something for our mind, something for intelligence. So if we can have a scaled down version of everything a little bit together, just like a thali, like rice, dal, everything in a balanced meal.
We can customize it.
You can customize that. That's where the beauty will happen, right? So and then so that will give you more benefit. Because in yoga, it's a beautiful science. Like I've been studying for almost like 3 to 4 decades in my life right now as a scientist. How it looks at that evidence-based program. So if you really understand the philosophy behind it, the science behind it, and just like you talked with modern psychology, talked with the ancient yogi system, there are a lot of corollaries because everything is on one. It's, the knowledge is all one, but we have to know how the connection happens, how the dots connect together. So when you understand the whole blueprint of yoga, then definitely will get 100% benefit.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else with any questions? So if you don't have questions even now, please feel free to reach out later, and then you can get the questions answered from Manoj ji. And Manoj ji, thank you very much for this wealth of information, right from the first session to this session. I mean, I can't say that how much, what the journey was. It was really amazing for all of us. I'm sure that all of us here did go through the same experience. It's great. Thank you again, and we're very grateful for you to have provided this. And for others, I have registered my daughter in Manoj's class, and then I'm looking forward to having more sessions with Manoj and then do this. And thanks a lot. I don't want to keep you out for long, but thank you all for joining this session. And then there will be an email which will follow up to you on your feedback, which Manoj mentioned, feedback on what you felt about it and what do you think, how you can benefit from it, or you or anybody else can benefit. Please share the information and then let us know. And there is in the email, we'll also mention as to any contribution, anybody, this is a free workshop Manoj graciously provided us, but any contribution anybody can provide, we'd really appreciate it. And that is all I have to say today. And thank you very much, Manoj again.
Thank you very
And
much. I just
please,
wanted to mention one thing, like some of our friends here have sent me something privately. So please
okay.
send me an email because this chat may be going out with this program. Send me an email. I would definitely send you the right link or spend some time with you. We all are here to help each other as a global family. This was Sudeva Kutumbakam. That's the yoga inspiration that tells us that we all are connected one way or other. So definitely we can help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you so much.
Thank you, Manoj. Yes, yeah, that'll be great. And then we're all looking forward to working with Manoj to make, like you mentioned, Silicon Valley to start with Silicon Valley, the most happiest and healthiest place in the world. We all know how much of stress people are going through, right from kids to all the people, working people. You know, we've had to work on eliminating all those stress and maintain peace here. And thank you very much, Manoj. And
And I
anything,
talked to
thanks a lot.
Suniaji today, like, this is also another way of building friendship because as we grow older and older, like, we minimize our friends also because we don't have good friends. But I believe when you practice yoga together, when you talk about a common goal, it can rekindle a new friendship. Like, I became friends with Simji and then, Suniaji, all these things. I interviewed them on my internet show. So it will build a lot of friendship. We can really enjoy life, the rest of the life, wherever we decide to end, our retirement and all, like, this is the golden period of our life. I won't call it silver after 50 or 45, whatever we are. It's a golden period of life. We must enjoy life to the fullest. Thank you very much. Have been a wonderful privilege for me to learn such a vibrant and, enlightened community at Silicon Andhra and the Rotary Club of Silicon Andhra. It's my great privilege to be connected for the rest of our life together. Thank you very much. Have a blessed.
Thank you. Thank you, Manoj, and thank you, everybody. And please do keep in touch, and then let us grow this
Thank you,
family and let
Manoj.
us meet.
Thank you so much.